Hello everyone, this is GamerFrones, and it's been a while, but now I am back with this little masterpiece here. Because I have been very busy working on the build contest here on Darwin Reforged server. I actually wanted to make a video of that as well, but I have been very busy. And I have quite a slight announcement to make today. More of a personal message that I am going on a short holiday here, a vacation. I'm visiting Iceland for 11 days, so during that time period I won't be able to upload stuff and all that. But before I leave, I just want to get this out to you guys. And as you may have guessed from the title, this is the test style build for Carathon, the capital city of Arinor. So this is something big. It's something that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, reinventing my old city of Carathon, and this is really something new and something big, guys. So let's have a look at this. So Carathon, we're just gonna fly around for a moment and show you the house from every angle. And Carathon is going to be the capital city. It is the trading center of Arinor, really. It's the largest city where the king lives, and it's pretty much where all the trade goes through. That also goes to the northern continent. The northern continent will not be made for, well, but it's there. It's just not there in Minecraft yet, but in my imagination it's part of my world. Anyways, let's have a look at this house. As you can see, I actually have a little test build that I did here ages ago. It looks much more like the Bordia style. I showed that to you in the last video actually. And then Kikahan, the other Australian builder who's helping me, he suggested, or he actually, well, he just informed me that, okay, this looks a bit similar to the Bordia house, and I completely agree. And since we are going to do the capital city, I wanted to bump it up, right? To sort of give it this feeling of being much larger, much more busy, much more life here. And it's going to be a large capital city. So imagine that we have loads of these bad boys here, and they are lined up besides each other, and we get these streets, the streets of the capital city here, which feels really cramped and city-like and just much larger than all the other cities. So this city really needs to stand out and be a lot more epic and grand. But as you can see again, even though this is a wealthy city and all, it is not, well, how to say, it is not exactly symmetrical, and the people who built this didn't build it from some sort of architectural idea. They simply smashed all kinds of stuff together. Still quite neat materials and all that, but it's supposed to be functional. And that's sort of what this city is. It is grand and epic and pretty, but it is very functional. It is the trade center, and it has been expanding a lot throughout the years. It started as a small little tiny city, tiny village actually, and then it expanded. So this is sort of a product of this expansion, that all kinds of stuff has been put together. So it has a historical value, I guess you can say, and a purpose, a historical meaning. But it is also because I wanted to do this style which had a lot more variation that I've been doing before. Arcanus, who's been helping me here on the server, he came here and helped me a lot on this house. I have to credit him for the wall texturing and some of the detailings actually. And he sort of said to me that I was building very vanilla-y. Well, you know what I mean, that I wasn't really using the Concrete Reforged pack in the best way. So I tried to go through this house and also just throw in some details in it, give it some more variation, some more color and some more randomness. but still keeping a structures. This is quite an advanced style, the most advanced thing that I've done yet. So let's go through it and I'll explain the core principles of this style. So let's start. I need to say, it is not a finished house. It's a style test, which means it doesn't have any chimneys, because it doesn't have any interior. There's no what to say? There's no shit house, no place to do the poo-poo or anything here. It's not completely functional yet, in that sense. It doesn't have any shop fronts because interior hasn't been decided on yet. So a style test, exterior build, right? Let's go through it here. The bottom floors are quite simplistic, in terms of exterior at least. It is very functional and it is composed of different wall sections, and for this house I wanted to have wall sections that was also 2 blocks wide, as you can see, to bring in some more variation, to give this style some more opportunities to do different structures on these houses. Sorry for the frame drops there. I wanted to be a lot more flexible when making these houses. So what I did here is that I composed the house of wall sections. I even have pillars in some places inside if it's a larger wall section, but otherwise 1 or 3 or 2 blocks wide wall sections. And the texturing of the walls is made from a principle that Arcanus taught me, with sort of rough dark stone at the bottom, and then moving up it gets finer textures and more expensive materials and more white actually. So it's both pretty in terms of it makes sense when it comes to coloring, but also when it comes to purpose, that you want these larger rough stones to really stabilize the foundations here. So these walls are quite simple, so to add some detail to them and also give the house some more nice features, there are balconies and small roofs that adds details mostly, but also supports sort of windows and makes some room that you can actually have stuff standing beneath here, which is sort of sheltered, not a lot, but you get the point. And it really just to add color and detail. I used the tiles here, so they're a sort of element that is all around the house. You can find in many places, and it really adds some color and keeps it all sort of together really. I did this thing with the blue pillars here to bring in, to sort of keep this colored theme, because Carathon's banner is a blue banner. So that's just why I have the blue color theme going, and it's not really static. We can do other colors for other houses. Alright, so that is just an idea. And as you can see, I have a really funny thing going on here. I have different flower pots in all sorts of different designs, both again to add detail and variation, but also because it would make sense that pots, they'll have potters coming from all sort of places, and pots that are not just made in Carathon but comes from different places and different persons who's made these pots, places to have flowers in and all that, so they are quite different. And that's a nice thing, I think. And it actually looks like materials that could have been made out of clay or stone or something like that. So that's a cool thing, I find. And it's really funny actually experimenting with different trapdoors, because there are so many with this Reforged mod. It's just amazing actually. So let's move up and see what I have going here. Now we come to the part which starts to have these overhangs, and that's where the structure of the house gets a bit tricky. So it's really about trying to make it work here with support beams. Try to keep oak beams here on the actual oak pillars, and then these supports, which has a different texture in between. Not in all places, as you can see, the balcony roofing here is supported by those, but sort of keeping it consistent. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then those railings are also used for supports in various places where I find it needed. You shouldn't overdo it, I think, but I've done it a lot on this house, because it is a house with lots of overhangs, lots of separate smaller structures. Each roof is kind of a small roof, so I find it nice to have these roofs supported here. Again, more balconies, different designs. All balconies are different designs. Some has roofs, some doesn't. That's part of the wanting to keep variation flowing here. But as you can see, most of it, in most places, the Tudor starts here on the second, or actually the third floor, and it has overhangs, again to create this cramped street-like feeling that you want in a large city. You want large houses with overhangs to ensure that space is being used in, well, the most practical way. And that is also what most houses look like in medieval cities. And this also takes inspirations from fantasy, so it's all about creating atmosphere, right? And you see that I've used all kinds of different Tudors. Variation and color, that's the keyword for this city. You want it to be lively and variated and interesting to look at. Well, I forgot a window there. Interesting to look at. And you also... I can't get that window. Damn it. Need to fix that later. And you also want to sort of show that they have materials from all kinds of places. Again, this trade. They're not that interested in looks in this city. It's a very functional capital city. I think I've said that a lot. Well, so that's sort of the main structure of the house, and then we have these towers, which is a really interesting design. It was actually Andy, or also known as Radcraft, who's helping me here. He's also doing some test builds over there, who suggested that having this painted wood, and I absolutely loved it right from the start. It brings in color, it adds that life again, and it's completely contrasting to the rest of the house. I think the combination of red and blue is really sort of, it's a rich combination. It kind of shows wealth again, but these towers are still weathered and all that. They've been here for a long time, probably. I just think this looks very nice. It's a very simple thing to have these towers, and they can be shaped in all sorts of ways, in whatever way that fits the build the best way. So you see I have it on corners, I have a little one here, and it's not symmetrical at all, which I think is a very nice point. And they are supported in all sorts of ways, again also to create some detail. Really liking these bay windows, and Arcanus came up with the idea of using these clothes hangers and these trapdoors for shutters. I think this house has almost everything that you'd want. For me, this is quite a new thing, and I really like it. I'm liking the details of it and the main structure, so I hope you do as well. And if you have any suggestions, like I'm not saying this is perfect, I'm just quite happy about it, but of course it could use some more work in some places, so let me know if you have any ideas, any smaller things, like this for example. It's a small drain for water. I would never have thought of that. That was Arcanus' idea again. So all those things I think is working really nice. And then sort of as a main thing of this build, we also have this tower, which stands out. It is not the same as these red towers. It's sort of part of the main structure itself. So I kept this the same design with oak framing and blue tiles. Really nice, in my opinion. So this was a very tricky house to finish. The interior is massive. This is going to be several houses. It's actually not a house, it's just a building with several. It's going to have residential living space, what you call it, and lots of shops also. So it'll be very interesting to furnish. If we get people on here, it would be a funny thing to do on a live stream or something like that. I'm not sure I'm capable of live streaming with my audience yet, but if you'd like to see it, I would be happy to do that, so I can get some live suggestions, right? But well, stay tuned for the interior. So I think that is all I wanted to say for today. It will be a while before I upload something again, but I'm really hoping to see you on YouTube on the Darwin Reforged server. I hope you are as stoked as I am to get started building the actual Carathon main city. I'm so stoked about this style. It's great, I think. It's gonna be really funny putting it all together, and I've got all this nice help from Andrew, which is great. So I'm just happy about this thing, and well, see you when I get back from my little holiday. Thank you for watching. It was GamerFrones over and out, and have a nice day, have a nice vacation if you're having some sort of that of your own, and looking forward to get back to you guys. So see you, bye.